Hello and welcome to another stream where today we're going to be reading an interview with my little cousin Naoki Hamaguchi. I think y'all heard of my cousin. He's directing this indie game that some people may or may not be familiar with. It's called Fortnite. It's a really big, popular game. Actually, it's not an indie game. I lied. No. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 7. The Remakening. Night Sky, do you do FF7 walkthroughs? Anyone who learns how to play video games from me, I feel really bad for them. Do not learn how to play games from me. I wouldn't say I'm bad at games, but the learning process that I go through when playing a game, the learning process that I go through when learning anything is just absurd. And I feel like learning from me is just stupid. Because I'm stupid. I'm a really slow learner. I basically get like halfway through a game and then I understand the mechanics of how I'm supposed to actually be playing it. It's like a really common thread with me. So it takes me a little while. And then also, if I stop playing a game for like a week, I completely forget how that game entirely works. Yeah, Blitz is a good guy to do that with. He is your learn to play video games guy. Your guide, man. I can just talk about what I think makes games great. And what I think makes games not so great. Only halfway. Sometimes I beat a game twice before learning a new learning a main mechanic. Yeah, real shit, bro. Sometimes you be thinking the game is so hard, but really, the only thing that's challenged is you. And that's it, bro. Game was easy. Your ass just couldn't read. That's the problem. Nah, real shit, man. I've been there. I've been there. I get it. That's me. Blitz, he can pick up a game and break it in minutes. Me, after 30 hours, I think I figured out that you're supposed to hit the square button, bros. I'm just slow. I am. And I'm like that with everything, honestly. So I think it's just kind of an IQ thing at this point. But yes, we have another Naoki Hamaguchi interview. This one's pretty interesting. He does talk about he talks about meeting up with Maximilian dude. He talks about if the game will or won't connect to Advent Children. He plays the line again where it's like, oh, maybe it will, oh, but then it won't, but maybe it won't, but maybe it will. And if you guys are looking forward to another back and forth, that's what I have to offer you today. So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good time, folks. I hope you're ready for it. I watch Blitz sometimes. I didn't know you could parry for a while. Wait, and you didn't know in like Remake or Rebirth that you didn't know you could parry? In Remake, you do have to have like the parry materia, and it's not as like straightforward per se. But in Rebirth, I think the perfect parry is a little bit more straightforward. But I guess, especially if you didn't play Intermission, I don't even know if Rebirth ever tells you that the perfect parry is a thing now. Does it? I'm trying to think at what point the game actually told me that I could do that. And I don't think it ever does. I just knew you could do it because of intermission, and then I saw it was also in the previews. Okay, in Rebirth, yeah, I guess so. Because like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang, if you didn't play intermission, I don't know if the game, maybe it does, but as I'm thinking about it right now, I'm like, wait, does it though? Does it actually ever like tell you can do that? Because if you go straight from remake to rebirth, you might not. I could actually see how you didn't know that, especially if you didn't play intermission. Intermission, I feel like, does tell you pretty explicitly, but now that I think about it, I don't know if rebirth actually does or doesn't. It does. I can't recall clearly. That's another thing too, is that I always skip through. I mean, I skip through rebirth kind of tutorial stuff because why would I when I played remake? And I know how this shit works. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Oh, in the first fight with the birds, you're right. It does explain it. No one fucking reads, bro. I don't read either. I don't fucking read either. Yo, Night Sky Prince, Revelation is going to be amazing. Looking forward to it. What are you looking forward to most? Mine is the weapon fights. Mine is definitely also the weapon fights. I'm really looking forward to it as well. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff. No, actually, I changed my answer. The thing I'm looking forward to most is the Highwind. And the reason the thing I'm looking forward to most is the Highwind is because we're finally fucking back to being Final Fantasy again. And I know that the irony is not lost on me that my favorite's 10, but I think that FF10 had a really good reason to not have a world map. You might disagree, you're fucking wrong. But 10 had a really good reason to not have a world map. And then every other FF after it that could have benefited from a world map was like, okay, bet, we're not gonna do a world map either. And unfortunately, it was sauceless. Like, it worked for 10, and I think it didn't work for any other FF after. I think it would have been better if they all had world maps after that, personally speaking. I get why they didn't want to do it in 13, though, but 13 should also have a world map. FF17 might change the world. Y'all, we hope. We hope. We pray, even. I want to see what happens in Zach's timeline. I mean, I have no expectations for that stuff, if I'm, like, being completely honest. Like, I don't even know what to think about that aspect of the story at this moment. Because it's just been so, like, ambiguous as to where it could possibly even go, or what the actual purpose is. I guess I am excited to see what's happening on that thread, but it's more like I'm excited to see why it exists in the first place. Like, that's like my curiosity is like, why are we doing this in the first place, rather, or less so than like what actually happens, if that makes sense. Because I feel like I straight up just don't get at the current moment what the purpose of the Zack timeline is beyond fan service. I'm not saying that there isn't one. I just want to know, like, on no uncertain terms, what that actually is. So, whoa. FF series has gone down after 9? Brother, you better move that up one title. You better move that up one title. You mean after 10? Sir, respectfully, we are not gonna... After 9? Nah. Disrespectful, brother. Disrespectful. At least say 10. At least say 10. At least say 10. 10 is the GOAT. Come on now. I think that 10. I get why people though that really loved 1 through 9 don't like 10 as much, is because 10 is kind of where they did start to break the formula. But I think the reason 10 gets away with it, whereas like a lot of the ones after 10 don't, is that for the most part, kind of like with the exception of the world map itself, 10 gives you 10 gives you a high quality replacement for everything, right? Like, and everything that they took away, it feels like they gave something that carried the fact that they took it away. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, they abandoned ATB combat, but the new combat system in 10, quite frankly, is better than ATB ever fucking was up to that point. Like, it's not even close, right? Like, CTB clears any combat from FF1 through 9. Is not even fucking close. You can't even put 1 through 9's combat in the same room as 10's. Is that much better. So yeah, even though they kind of broke tradition, they replaced it for the most part with something that was good. He says, hey, 10 was good, but I think the free roaming and doing a lot of side missions around the world map, I just had that fun was taken away in 10. That's fair. That's fair. Because the world map, I do think that was, I don't want to say it was a bad move, because I think it worked for 10, but I understand why it upset people at 10. Giant Monkey Butt, thank you for the super chat. To be fair, Zach's timeline could also be live stream shenanigans and not real timelines. That, like, I don't want it to just be described as live stream shenanigans though. Like, I want it to be like, this is like a critical piece of the narrative. Because I feel like, and that doesn't necessitate like it being a literal timeline, by the way, for that to be a literal, like, to be a piece of the narrative. But I don't want it to be in any way minimized, or let's just say not crucial to the narrative, and just be like a side thing that exists for the sake of fan service and not like an integral part of the story. Because if it's not an integral part of the story, I'm gonna be a little, I'm gonna have to be pretty critical on it, to be honest. Because if it's just there for filler fan service to get more time with the character, I'm just like, it's just not really what I personally would describe the peak of writing. So I want it to be really important and crucial and integral. And I'm not suggesting that you're saying, Giant Monkey Butt, that it's not. I'm just like kind of yapping on my own feelings. But like, yeah, just ultimately, I just really want it to be something that's that is actually integral to the story of the remake series, and not just like a thing that happens and you get more time with the fan favorite character, and then it's like it was never important. That would be pretty tragic to me. I don't want it to end up like that. Giant Monkey Butt, thank you for another super. Think Ever Crisis event where they were going through the live stream type thing. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. I'm fine with it as long as it amounts to something. Amounting to ultimately nothing, I think, is where I would draw a hard line for how I feel about this, and be like, okay, this is actually bad. So I want Zach's, for lack of a better term here, because I know it's contentious, we'll just say resurrection. I want his resurrection to be of great story significance, because if it's not of great story significance, then it's just like, the fuck are we doing here, right? Zaxby's Resurrection. NSP, my goat, thank you for streaming during my work hours. You make my day better. Glad to hear. If that plot thread is actually going to some great story twist, then I'll be happy. Right. You want it to be like super pivotal and be like, oh my god, that made 7R's story so much better. That's what helped exceed the OG's story is because they did that twist, right? And they've been building that twist up in each game. And dude, he's literally on the cover, the fucking cover of Rebirth and of Revelation. So it's kind of just like, dang, if he's not pivotal, if it's not, I mean, and of course I mean this beyond his original function in the story. I mean, something additional because they've set up for something even grander than that original reveal, of course. Then yeah, I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. A lot of fans want an Advent Children fight scene in Revelation. Don't you feel like we already got that at the end of Remake? I do feel like we already got that at the end of Remake. And I genuinely don't know how they can recreate that fight again, because I feel like we got the recreation of that fight at the end of Remake. Now, granted, I do feel like that might have been a load that was blown a little too soon to put that at the end of Remake. Because I do feel like that would have been a little bit cooler in Revelation. But that being said, I don't know where this story is going. And realistically speaking, it kind of feels like none of us do, despite many on the internet claiming otherwise. And the director of the game has also said to basically more or less that you don't know where this is headed, and it's all by design. So, with all that out of the way, or not, maybe not literally out of the way. Oh, well, that's fine. That works. Okay, we'll pause the music here. And we're going to talk today about my little cousin. My cousin, Naoki Hamaguchi. Have you noticed that the silhouette of the stars in the sky looks like Sephiroth in his god mode? Like Safer Sephiroth? That's interesting. He's your little cousin, bro? Yes. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know Naoki Hamaguchi is my little cousin? I mean, maybe it's just me, but I think the resemblance is kind of uncanny. We got a picture of him down here. Okay, look at this. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Okay. Even though we're cousins, we almost kind of look like we could be twins. I'ma just be real, okay? And you know, I get comments all the time. Are you and Hamaguchi related? And you know, he always tells me, bro, keep it on the low. We don't need everyone knowing about that. But it's true. We cousins. Literally clones. I know. More like twins, really. You do look part Japanese now that I look. I don't know, man. Do I look part Japanese? Or is Hamaguchi part black? Think about it. It goes either way, brother. Just like Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. Oh, man. Okay. But real shit, real shit. We got this brand new interview and we're gonna go through it. Basically, this is actually a part 2 of the interview that we went through last time, right? So he talks a little bit more about Advent Children, possible DLC, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first question. The interviewer at Automaton Media asking, right after the grand reveal of Final Fantasy VII Revelation at Summer Games Fest 2026, you met up with Maximilian Dude at his house for an interview. How did that happen? Maximilian Dude, also my cousin. He is a fan of Final Fantasy VII, and he's attended all of the media and influencer hands-on events for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth so far, which is how we got connected. When he saw the announcement, he immediately reached out to me, and that's how the interview came about. Yeah, see? Now that it's known that me and Hamaguchi are cousins, I think that the interview can take place. I don't know. He does also whisper things in my ear. He lets me know about things that are happening within Square Enix. I can't tell y'all. It's too top secret. Y'all would explode if I told you the truth. They said that's quite surprising. Thanks to him, it ended up being a hot topic in North America. They were like, it's so funny witnessing Hamaguchi in Maximilian's room, the same room we see every time we watch his videos. I'm really amazed by how much influence he has. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, to kind of be at that level too, where you can actually create buzz for games and like the games that you're passionate about. That's kind of my dream as a content creator, to be able to say, hey, I really like this game. All of you guys should go and check it out. And then people actually do it. Nowadays, I say, hey, I like this game. And y'all say, there NSP goes, eating mid again. Not all of you. Some of you in my own community be like, NSP, you eating up that slop. Very sad. Very sad. That being said, I think most of you, when I do recommend a game, you actually do play it and you actually do really enjoy it. So a lot of you have said, oh, I checked out Persona because of you. I played Final Fantasy XIV because of you. So to you, community members, y'all are great. To the rest of y'all, fuck off. I actually started up Near Automata because of you. Oh, that's so based, brother. That's so based. You're a real Winklax. That's so based. You can thank me later, bro. My goal as a content creator is to say, try this out, and for my audience to tell me to keep myself safe. Brother, I've already made it. I've already made it, then. On the flip side, I imagine there are also streamers who might feel a bit jealous or sad about not getting the same opportunity. Hamaguchi, we have no plans to work with just one influencer and call them our only official partner influencer. I'm sure that the influencer wouldn't want that either. Rather, I'd be personally very happy to maintain good relationships with many different people over the long term. So if the chance arises, we might collaborate with those streamers in the future. Chat. I can think of a good candidate. I can think of a good candidate. I know somebody, chat, that might make a pretty good influencer to collaborate with He is incredibly handsome. Some even say that's just what they're saying online. And I think that they should reach out to him via email or DM, even possibly tonight, maybe. My phone is also available, Hamaguchi. We can do a Zoom call. If you want to send a carrier pigeon, any of these sorts of things, I'm open. I'm open. I'm willing to discuss. I'm willing to discuss. Yeah, and I think it's time for a family reunion with my cousin. I do. I do. You know, I know it's not Thanksgiving, but I think it's time that we bring the family together. Yo, chat is guessing baby seal instead of me. Okay. Wow. I see how it is. Baby seal is handsome though. He is. Okay. Where are we at? Speaking of influencers, in a recent interview with 4Gamer, you said, with RPGs like Final Fantasy, we need to be wary of the possibility that players might be satisfied just by watching live playthroughs. I'm not trying to be dismissive of playthroughs. I'm saying that we need to take that as a challenge and incorporate game elements that would motivate players to actually play the games themselves. That was quite an interesting comment, and it led to a lot of discourse about the good and bad sides of streaming games. Hamaguchi, yeah, things got quite heated, he laughed. It's actually kind of crazy that spun off so much contentiousness. Everyone was talking about that. And also, too, a lot of people weren't actually even reading what he said. They were just like, oh, you see, he said that streamers ruin games. And I'm like, no, that's literally not what he was saying. You motherfuckers cannot read. You just assume based on the headline that you're getting confirmation bias for whatever thing that you've made up in your head. And you think that that's what he's talking about when that has nothing to do with anything that he's saying. And it's just like, what are y'all doing? What are we doing here? I get what he's saying. He's basically saying that if people watch a Let's Play of a game, then maybe they won't want to go play that game themselves if it's a heavy narrative game. I do disagree with Hamaguchi on this, that people would not go play a narrative game just because they saw it on the stream. Or, well, maybe I'm wrong. Actually, no. Let me dial back, because actually the exact example I was going to use proved him right. Okay. I think I was going to say Undertale is like kind of the perfect example of a really popular stream game. And then I realized, oh, wait, yeah, he's right. Because if you watch someone play Undertale, you would want to go play Undertale yourself, because there's so many interactive elements and things that you can miss and different things. And you guys know how Toby Fox games are. So you wouldn't want to just be like, oh, well, I've already seen someone play Undertale, so I'm not going to go play Undertale. No. It elevated the game, and when people saw how dynamic the events actually were, it made them want to go play the game themselves. Dispatch is also another really great example, right? As a so-called TV show game, it has a lot of different branching paths and a lot of different things that you can say in that game that lead to some very different events, and every playthrough is going to be like a little bit different depending on what people are picking. And so I do think that there is a little bit of merit to what he's saying. I had to think about it at first, because at first I was like, wait, no, people will go play it, but then I do think that, yeah. But also too, I kind of think that if a game looks fun, that most people will go out and play it. Like, regardless of the story, people want to play video games. They want to experience those fights for themselves and stuff like that. And I do think that the Re-Trilogy, just as an action game, ignoring all the story elements, purely as a game where you go into rooms and fight enemies, stands on its own two legs well enough to justify purchasing it. Right? Like, even if all you want is a game where you beat up on bosses and do really cool shit in combat, I think 7R is that, like, already. So I get where he's coming from, actually, as I think on it. The interviewer continued by saying, "It kind of felt like the topic eventually took a life of its own. I'm sure that you've already said what you intended to say in the I'm sure you already said what you intended to say in the 4Gamer interview, but could you please clarify once again in case there were any misunderstandings due to the language barrier?" Hamaguchi saying, "Personally, I don't view the fact that my comment became a subject of debate as a negative thing. In fact, I saw it as healthy discussion. As a creator, sometimes I get the impression that streaming culture doesn't mix that well with the narrative-driven works, especially the kind of RPGs we create. That being said, I'm not trying to say that RPGs and JRPGs will decline simply because people get satisfied by watching live streams. This applies to everything in the world and is not specifically limited to just entertainment. But I believe that when the environment changes, the thing that survives should also change and adapt to it. In that sense, it's important to change and adapt to suit the current era, while also holding on to your original appeal. In other words, even if the environment changes, we should be able to adapt to the times while maintaining our fan base. Even when it comes to RPGs, simply trying to copy and paste conventions isn't enough. That's why I felt as creators, we must keep taking on new challenges to preserve our fan base and ensure that RPGs will keep being a genre that's supported for the next 20 to 30 years and well beyond that." Yeah, I get what he's saying, you know? Something like Baldur's Gate 3, for example. Great stream game because no two people ever are going to have the exact same playthrough of that game, period, right? But also, too, I find that people aren't going to watch streams of games that they have any interest in playing themselves, right? So if I'm watching a stream of a narrative game, it's either a game that I want to personally play. I mean, it's a game that I've already played, right? Or I would never play, right? Like, I don't have any plans on playing this whatsoever. I'm just curious to watch somebody else go through it, but I don't really too much plan on playing it. When it's something that I really do want to play and I'm cautious of spoilers or something like that, then I feel like I kind of avoid it, or I don't stay for too long. I watch a little bit of a streamer play it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I don't want to get spoiled, but it looks like they're having a good time or a bad time. But I don't really stick around too much, right? Sometimes I don't watch because of spoilers, right? Generally speaking, as someone who does stream narrative games, they really fucking suck to stream. The reason narrative games suck to stream is because people don't stick around unless they've already played it. And it's weird too, because gamers are like, yeah, but I might play that game. Even when they know goddamn well their back catalog is so fucking stacked that they will not get around to that game in the next 10 fucking years. They're like, yeah, but there's a 1% chance I'm going to play this 20-year-old game eventually. So I'm not going to sit here in this stream and spoil myself. Bro, you are never going to pick up that game. You should just watch me play it instead. It's a way better time, I promise. um, but yeah, that's why people don't really stick around for narrative games. And so the number of streamers who are really successful streaming narrative games is a lot slimmer compared to gamers who stream other types of content like multiplayer games, right? What'd you think of a beefy demo of 7R? There'll definitely be a revelation demo. SP, I've watched UMax and sub I'll play 7 Rebirth, and I haven't gotten to play it myself yet, but I still want to. Wow, you haven't gotten to play it yourself yet? There's been so many great sales. Do you own it already, or are you just waiting to set aside some time to play it? Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe there are some people out there who will do it. But I just think that generally that's probably the case. I do sometimes play games after seeing them on stream if it's a series I've never heard of or seen gameplay of, though I usually stop after I realize this is good, I might play this. And so yeah, that 1% statement is so true. Well, yeah. You go into streams and you check it out to see if you would play it. And then once you realize like, oh shit, I actually do want to play this, you kind of stop watching because you don't want to get spoiled. A lot of people just watch Persona 5 streams, they don't play it. As big as like the Persona LARP meme is, Persona 5 actually did get a lot of uplift in terms of sales from people making content on it. Like quite a lot, actually. So it wasn't really that bad for the game. Yeah, kind of like watching a movie trailer up until you want to see it. Yeah. Yeah, and then you're like, you're good. Yeah, P5 is past 10 million now. Vanilla and Royal together has surpassed 10 million. I think that P5 is going to get to like 12 million lifetime, honestly. It's so crazy. The reason I say that is because P5 actually like it has actually been generating more sales recently. Last year, P5 sold an additional 2 million copies. This is a year after the remaster came out, by the way. A year or two after. It just started upticking in sales, and I think it may have had to do something with Persona 3 Reload releasing or what, but yeah, it just like started upticking in sales, and it sold like 2 million copies like last year. Yeah. I think P3 Reload caused a lot of people to go back and look at P5 again, kind of like in the same way that we're seeing right now with Revelation, right? Where people are like, oh yeah, okay, I want to go check out FF7 Remake and Rebirth now. P4 and P6 date might get more sales. Yeah. Like as soon as we start seeing P6 hype go into full swing, I'm willing to bet you Persona 5 has sold 12 million announcement will be inevitable. And I think we're going to get the 10 million announcement for 7R1 like any day now. Anyways, continuing the interview. We just let that part, so here it is. It was a word of caution to yourself as a creator, or perhaps the impending sense of crisis. That's right. As creators, we need to embrace that sense of crisis, take responsibility for what we do, and create our works with care. FF7 Revelation is not a definitive answer to all those issues, nor are we fully satisfied with it yet. However, looking at Revelation as a single experience, we've incorporated a lot of side content where elements range from the narrative strategies will change based on players' choices, even if they're watching a live stream. We wanted to attempt things that would make players think, oh, if it was me, I'd like to do that differently. That's the kind of sentiment I was trying to convey. And I think that's actually a good sentiment, by the way. But also, too, I think the way it works, right? And I'm sure that, like, a big streamers would kind of attest to this, too. But you kind of upload those videos, right? When the game first comes out. And then as people go back and beat Rebirth, they would watch an NSP playthrough or a Maximilian Dude playthrough or a Blitz playthrough of Rebirth once they've completed it themselves. And so you can kind of upload those videos ahead of time. I think that like maybe like 5-10% of your audience that normally watches your videos will watch them and spoil themselves. But like 85-90% are gonna watch it after. NSP, weird question. Would you be mad if Atlas made a Persona 5 sequel? They kind of did with Persona 5 Strikers, but if you mean like a legitimate Persona 5 2, yeah, I would crash out. But I think Strikers is like meant to be a Persona 5 2 as much as possible. So yeah, I mean, but if they actually like legitimately tried to make like this is like literally 5-2, then yeah, I'd be mad. But then again, you know, they already have 5X. Honestly, I think I'd be mad if they announced another Persona 5 game like ever at this point. I'm done. Let us focus on Persona 4 Revival and Persona 6. Please. Please. All right. Continuing the interview. Since the side quests in Revelation will have branching outcomes based on player choices, I understand it's an attempt to reconcile streaming culture and the user experience by creating an experience that will change. By creating an experience that will change, deepening on the player. Deepening on the player? I think they mean depending on the player. I felt like my dyslexia was playing games on me for a second there, but no, that should be depending on the player. Hamaguchi says, exactly. To begin with, the concept for FF7 Revelation is that it's the final installment in the trilogy. So we wanted each of the characters to have their own beliefs, resolve, and feelings as they head towards the story's conclusion. On top of that, we felt it'd be better if that emotional journey were different for each player. Kind of like, I want Vincent to take on this challenge with this kind of mindset. Or I want Cloud to take on this challenge with that kind of mindset. We want each player to experience those feelings in their own way. Being a game with so many famous, iconic characters, each of whom players have different levels of emotional attachment to, it felt like homogenizing players' feelings toward the characters wouldn't make for a compelling gaming experience. So we aimed for a game design where players' choices within the game would effectively align with those feelings. Could be deepening in the player. Vincent Valentine will deepen within the player. That'd be great. There's no good revisionism of FF games like Persona, so there's no people LARPing about FF games. Interesting. I'm curious. There's good revisionism of, well, if you mean like good revisionism as in like people reappraising a game and suddenly like liking it now, I guess that would be 13. How are there already Megaton YouTubers that are kind of rooting for Persona 4 Revival to fail or already being concerned about it because they didn't like Persona 3 Reload? Okay, I'm gonna be real. I think that like the entire Atlas community is kind of unreasonably negative, to be honest. They're like, I think that they're almost the opposite of the Square Enix community, where the Square Enix community is like, Square Enix can do no wrong ever. They are always correct. They are always good. It is you, the fan, who have failed them. And the Atlas community, it's like, no matter how good Atlas does, the Atlas community is like, this fucking sucks. This is trash. Like, this is so bad. How did they even think this passes as a video game? And it's just like both of those communities are so annoying, but it's like literally for the opposite reason. Yeah, yes, as someone deep in both communities, this is correct. Yeah. Bro, it's so insane. It's so insane that like they're both like really delusional in like the exact opposite way. Like, but like with Persona and Atlas fans, I legitimately don't know how you can satisfy them. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they want. I don't know what would make them happy. Like the smallest thing ever about a game like completely fucking ruins it. If you look at the discourse around Persona 3 Reload and then you compare it to the discourse around like Final Fantasy 7 Remake, is is actually kind of crazy how like how different those kind of things are. Like it, I can't even imagine. I think Hamaguchi slash SE isn't really considering that many people who are watching a streamer play a new game day one, but probably aren't going to buy the game at launch anyway. I don't know if they're trying to appeal to that audience is a great idea as those. I bet. Hold on, I lost my place. Gonna buy the game anyway. I don't know if they're trying to appeal to that audience is a great idea. At best, those players will buy the game on sale if the streamer makes it look fun. Yeah, yeah. I agree, dude, my guy. Like I don't think it. I get what he's saying, and he's not wrong, right? Like if you can go back through the game and play it differently, and there's different branching events, I do think it makes it more fun actually to go and watch other people's streams. But even then, it's usually a game I've already played, and it becomes fun to go and watch other people's choices, right? Like if you play Baldur's Gate 3, it's way fucking fun to like go and watch somebody else play it because it's like, holy shit, I didn't do any of this. This is this is brand new content, and I would probably never play the game like this either. So it actually makes watching streams around it pretty awesome. So I don't think that it's necessarily bad. Even when a game has a fixed story, I found watching people's Expedition 33 playthroughs to be really awesome. And I don't think most people, I mean, clearly most people didn't buy Expedition 33 because they watched someone's playthrough. But, or, you know, one of the most successful streams that we ever did on here, gameplay streams, was when I played through the entirety of Final Fantasy 14. Typically, when it comes to narrative games, the people who are watching are people who love the story of that fucking game. They love that story. And the only way that you can get close to experiencing his story for the first time again is to have someone else experience it for the first time and you watch them go through it. When you can vicariously see someone go through all the ups and downs of a story that you went through, you get a fraction of what it feels like to relive that moment, right? It feels so good. It's like I'm having it again. It's the only way you can get that back. Or at least like a tiny fraction of it. So that's kind of really what supports narrative streams. I don't think narrative streams are at odds with people watching it for themselves the first time. You guys, I'll also give you kind of a perfect example of this too. And this is outside of video games, but I think it still pretty much makes a lot of sense. But reactions. When you think about it, people would think like, oh, hey, a reaction is just stealing views from the creator. But realistically, that's not what happens. People that get a video reacted to by a big creator, they actually see an influx of new views. It actually boosts their video. right? Like I would love, um, you know, fucking Ludwig. I don't know. Think of a big streamer real quick. Valkyrie, Senna, whoever the fuck. Like, I would love for them to react to my Final Fantasy 15's disastrous development video. Cause you know what would happen, right? I'd get like an additional 100,000 views. So it actually tends to Sea Dog. Oh, dude, you're right. That's actually the best example. I couldn't even. Why didn't I think of that? Because that actually makes sense for Sea Dog to react to that video because he's on like his Final Fantasy arc. So yeah, I would love for Sea Dog to react to my Final Fantasy 15 disastrous development documentary. In fact, if any of y'all go into Sea Dog's chat, donate like $200 and be like, Sea Dog, you need to react to this video before you play FF15 and you'll understand. Actually, like real shit, one of y'all needs to do that. One of y'all needs to do that before he ever gets around FF15. I don't think he's played 15 yet, has he? When he does, I want y'all to blow his chat up. I want y'all to be like, yo, watch NSP's documentary on this video game. It's so good. React to it. You need to know it. It's like necessary. Okay. You can have him watch it before. Wouldn't your video spoil things for him? Okay, have him watch it after. Have him watch it after he beats the game. And that's fine with me. I'm cool with it, bro. But yeah, that boosts videos really well. It does not actually take viewership away. It just makes more people know about it. The thing is, right, is that a lot of these things have ceilings for how many people they would reach normally. And then when you have someone who's like a big creator come in and they react to your video game or to your video, what actually ends up happening is hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of people get introduced to content that they would not have otherwise. So it doesn't actually steal, it actually promotes. I think it depends on how much reaction is happening in the video and if the creator is being reacted to needs the extra exposure. 10 million sub channel watching, reacting to sub 1 million sub channel is great. The reverse is kind of stealing, I think. It depends. Because at the end of the day, it depends on how much you're transforming the content, right? And also, too, some people might actually just want to watch the video itself and not have the guy constantly reacting to it, right? So they may start out by watching the reaction video, and then they're just like, fuck, dude, I just want to watch the video. I'm tired of this little guy in the fucking square saying dumb shit all the time, and I just want to see the video itself. But yeah, bro, I was in the trenches for love and deep space. Oh, bro was in the trenches for love and deep space. He can watch your FF15 vid. So true, King. It also depends on if the smaller channel still has good production and good points. Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I would say that it's harder for the smaller channel to get away with not adding value to the video that they're watching and re-upload it. Right? Because when you are a smaller channel and people don't know who you are, you kind of have to prove who the fuck you are to have a worthy opinion in the first place. Because most people will just be like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't care what he's saying. And if they find the video itself interesting, but not your commentary, they'll just go to the description and click the link to go to the original video or search it up and bypass you altogether, which still benefits the OG creator ultimately anyway. But I've had friends who've had videos who've gotten reacted to by creators like Asmongold and etc. And it only helped their video in most cases. Like, and I don't mean just like a little bit, like, oh, it got like a small uptick, it typically boosted their videos by 10K views or more to get exposed by a massive channel. So yeah, it actually helps a lot. Obviously, do you want your video reacted to on day one? Maybe not. Some people are like, you can kind of react to it like a little bit later, right? Like once it's reached its organic viewership peak. So I think if you're reacting to a video after it's been up for a week, you're definitely helping it. If it's just been uploaded for like 1 hour and then a mega creator comes and reacts to it, I don't know if it'll have the same type of boost. But yeah. Actually, speaking of Ludwig, this reminds me, I actually just watched a video of his the other day. It was an older video. But basically, I think he made like an anonymous channel. And I think he got like, and he was trying to get like 1,000 views on it in like 24 hours. And like the way he did it was he made it a video about Mizkiff. And then he like went into Mizkiff's chat and donated like $50 and got him to click on it. And then he clicked on it and watched it. And then it got viewership, like a lot of viewership. So, and that's why y'all are going to do the same for me though, but with Sea-Dog and with my FF15 video. And I'm going to appreciate it. NSB, I actually discovered your channel heavily during the FF15 hype back when it was first announced. Oh man, I'm fortunate the way I ended up feeling about that game. Let's continue the interview. Enough about streamer talk. In many of your previous interviews, when asked about the game's ending, you replied with something along the lines of, I want to make it with players, I wanted to make players feel it was worth playing the whole series. This made some users theorize that FF7 Trilogy will conclude with a happy ending. Would that be an accurate interpretation? I've been giving the same answer each time I'm asked about the ending. But since people only focus on the things they want to hear, the actual truth rarely gets across. FF7 fans, I gotta zoom in on this one for you. Because I think y'all need to read this one a couple of times. I've been giving the same answer each time I'm asked about the ending. But since y'all only want to fucking focus on the things you want to hear. God, dude, this is FF7 fans to the absolute max. God, this is so FF7. Clouded eyes. Nah, you ain't lied. You ain't lied. That's so funny. No, bro, this is so funny. I feel so bad for Hamaguchi, dog, because that's so true. Like, whatever he says, people are like, well, that means exactly what I thought. Bro, I see two people on a TL that hate each other's guts because of FF7 takes. And then like a Hamaguchi quote drops. And they both be like, yeah, this proves exactly what I've been saying the whole time. And it's two people with like the exact opposite take. And then the quote will be like Hamaguchi saying some shit like, yeah, the sky is blue. And they're like, this proves everything I've been saying. And I was like, no, it fucking does not, dude. He's just saying that, like, but yeah. Very common thread here in this community. To clarify once again, I have never told any media outlet about what kind of ending FF7 Revelation will have. It's been 30 years since the original Final Fantasy VII, and 10 years since we began developing the remake series. Many fans have stuck with us for a really long time, and we've got enormous support from the development teams as well. We've gotten enormous support from the development team as well. Amidst all that, I've walked alongside the FF7 remake franchise, and I'm doing my best to deliver a game that will make people glad they were involved with it. And while I said I'm confident we'll be able to achieve that, I've never actually revealed how the ending will turn out. It's crazy, man. The audacity on the journalist is also really crazy. Could you imagine just asking the director of the game, yo, how does the game end, bro? Can you tell me like how it just ends? Especially after asking him about how streamers could potentially ruin the game. And then just being like, yeah, anyways, yo, tell me the ending, bro. It is kind of crazy. I get it though. I'm not faulting the hustle. I want to be clear. No disrespect to the interviewer if they're watching this. It's totally cool, bro. I get it. I get it. If I was doing the interview, quite frankly, I would do the same shit because you need a clickable headline. Right? And if he can give you even like a little pinch, a little bit of hit off of that pipe, it's good. It's real good, man. Oh, it's real good. You need that. You need those clicks. I get it. Me too, brother. I need those clicks too. I need those clicks too. So you got to ask those questions. This is the algorithm, chat. It's not the journalist's fault. It's the game that it makes us play. I really do think the ones that will be satisfied will be the ones who are going in with the least expectations on the ending. I'm just here for the ride. I just wanted to feel well executed. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I am going to be the most satisfied person with FF7 Retrilogy story. And I know it's going to be paradoxical because I was kind of one of the first people to be like critical of it. And then I think I'm going to be one of the first people that ends up being like, actually it's pretty good. And the reason comes down to the fact that I have already experienced ego death regarding FF7 and the Retrilogy. I've already accepted that it's not the kind of remake I conceived in my head or the thing that I was wanting. And so now I just kind of accept it as the thing that it is. And I think I'm going to be the person who loves the Retrilogy story the most. And everyone else is going to be mad because, oh, it wasn't a remake, or, oh, it wasn't a sequel, or, oh, it was this, or, oh, it was that. Or this character came back to life, or this character didn't come back to life, or whatever the fuck. I'm going to be the only person, and maybe I am the only person right now, who has no attachment to any of those things. Like, if Zack comes back to life, or if Zack stays dead, for example, I don't care either way. Like, I'm cool. Like, whatever they do is just going to be like, yeah, that's what they wanted to do in the 7R games. And I just kind of took it for what it was. But everyone else who is like, it has to be this outcome or I hate it, those people are going to be so disappointed, I think. Roy, thank you for the super chat. The Dying Story arc and Rebirth was so bad. I appreciate it, brother. It's not my favorite of their revisited story arcs for sure. It had some great voice acting though, for damn sure. The acting in it was incredible. But I agree about how they kind of, I think most people agree on that one, that bag was fumbled. But again, thank you, brother, for the super. Vincent said that expectations lead to disappointment. That was the voice of Hamaguchi in the game. It was. Just like they said in the first trailer, it may bring joy, it may bring sadness, but let us embrace whatever it may bring. Because they knew. They knew what they were about to do was going to cause a little bit of conversation. Yeah, I'm not attached to any outcome of anything. I'm attached to wanting to see the story they want to tell with revisiting FF7. Boom. That's it for me. The only thing I wanted them to do was not back down from the story that they wanted to tell, even if I personally didn't like or approve of it. I didn't want them to back down. That was the biggest thing for me. Is I just wanted creator confidence in the world. And I can actually respect creator confidence more to create something that I don't like, but you didn't waver under pressure, versus something I do like, but was created under, just me bitching about it. And then you were like, oh, I'm scared, so I'm going to go back and do what you said I should do. Right? So I'd rather them make something that makes me upset than them make something that makes me happy just because I bullied them to do it. So, and I don't think a lot of people have that mindset, but honestly, trust me, when it comes to art, you really want that mindset, because otherwise, if you can just bully creators to create whatever they want, then you're not really making art. Art is not designed by the committee. Art is not a democracy, and it never should be. It would not be art. Interviewer says, so you're choosing to stay silent about the ending. I mean, yeah. I mean, bro. It's like, nah, I'm not staying silent about the ending. Nah, bro. I'm not gonna stay silent about the ending. I'm finna yap. I'm finna say everything about it. Like, that is literally crazy, bro. Roy Mustang, thank you for the super chat. I should have continued skipping cutscenes. Never should have watched the cutscenes with Dine, and then Palmer shaking his ass at the camera. Okay, I will agree with you about Palmer shaking his ass at the camera within the same scene as like all of the Dine sequences. Again, actually, I don't think anyone's really gonna give you any pushback on the Dine stuff for the most part. Like, overwhelmingly, like, even many people who love this game, like, they all, like, it's fairly unanimous with, like, maybe I think Eric the Dude in chat said he liked it, but like, you go to like even like the most diehard Rebirth fans, even a lot of them are like, yeah, that shit was not not a good change. So yeah, I don't think you have to feel too contrarian on that one. That was one that like most people would agree with. Like, I'm pretty sure even like even for like Baby Seal, for example, who loves Retrilogy, I think even for him that was kind of a fumble scene. I think it wouldn't have been so bad, but like when you have Palmer coming out shaking his ass and doing like and then we have that like really comical boss fight like within the same like within 5 seconds of the interview. I mean, within 5 seconds of the emotional dying scene, it's like, yo, what the fuck? So Hamaguchi says, it's more that I don't want people focusing on just the ending. I'm aiming to create a game that will make people feel like I'm glad they've made the remake series, or I'm glad I was able to see Final Fantasy VII Remake series through to the end when they look back on the whole trilogy. The ending might be faithful to the original, might be fully faithful to the original, or it might end up something completely different. Or perhaps it might go in a direction that no one could have imagined in the first place. I'd like for everyone to experience it for themselves. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And notice how he gave all kinds of different answers here. Maybe it'll be fully faithful. Or maybe it'll just be something that you never even thought of. So he's given all kinds of different answers here. He doesn't want you set on a single thing. This is a reference to the fact that the director does not want to give away the ending of the video game. Fairly obvious. I thought the Palmer fight was fine. There just should have been some sense of time move forward. I know. I thought about how they could do that, and it's like if they just like advanced the time of day, even like, oh, it's nighttime now, or oh, hey, we sat there for a moment, and like time went by, and it's like the next morning, or something. I feel like that would have like instantly like made it okay. But then they didn't. That would have been all it took, actually, to make that fight right after not jarring. Let me ask you about another rumor, the interviewer asks. In the past interview about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, you mentioned that the definitive ending to Final Fantasy VII series could possibly lead into You mentioned that the definitive ending of FF7 series could possibly lead into FF7AC. So fans are now speculating that we might be getting the same ending as the original. I remember producer Yoshinori Kitase and I said something along these lines in an interview way back, but since that interview was translated, there is a possibility that the exact nuance didn't get across. On the other hand, as the developers, we aren't denying the possibility of the FF7 AC ending. The concept of the FF7 remake series is that we're creating a new overarching universe that encompasses the lore of the many various spin-offs we've created, not just FF7 AC, but also Dirge of Cerberus and Crisis Core. So we're not denying the possibility of the type of the ending type. So we're not denying the possibility of the ending tying into FF7AC, but rather we're saying that FF7AC has been incorporated into the overarching remake series, including the ending. However, I won't comment on whether the ending is positioned to lead into it. So, will the remake series connect to Advent Children? Yes, it. It's so funny because, again, people will read this and be like, everything I believe here has been confirmed. And it's just like, this is so nothing burger, right? Like, it might be. It might not be. I think you should give me $70, actually. I think that's what you should do. The fact that you have $70 and I need $70 shows that we are energetically aligned, is what Hamaguchi has said. So you're saying that it was incorporated into the broader framework of the overarching universe. Yes, the correct nuance is that we're not denying the canonicity of the endings of any titles in the FF7 universe, and they've all been incorporated into the remake series as we explore what kind of conclusion the new series itself will reach. So it wouldn't be quite accurate to say the development team explicitly stated that the FF7 remake series is connected to FF7 AC. Interesting. Interesting. So this does mean a couple of things, right? It would mean that the ending of Dirge of Cerberus is also canon. It means that that's also an important thing. It could mean that Genesis is back in a profound way. And it could also be tying that ending into Final Fantasy VII. This could perhaps be where the DLC takes place. Or it could just be part of the narrative in general. But this tells me they're probably not going to leave that thread untouched. Multiverse is pretty much always used to make everything canon, but not necessarily directly connected. That's also a possibility too. And I know a lot of people don't like the word multiverse being used with this game, but that's the only way I know how to describe it, whether it's, something happening in the live stream, such and such, or different points in time that are not necessarily connected, or they are connected, but through the live stream, or it's the dream of the faith, whatever you want to call it. It's not really relevant to me. But or it's not really that significant to me. It's all just a matter of tomato. Yuffie needs to kill Nero. That's all I care about. Yeah, I think we'll give that moment. I think Nero will definitely come back into play. Imagine the opening of Revelations is just Vincent wrapping up Dirge. That would be interesting, right? Because I expect a chapter 0 like we got with Rebirth, where we're gonna get like an opening. I imagine it'll be Zack, but that would be crazy if it was Vincent at the end of like Dirge of Cerberus or something. That would be very left field. The interview continued with him saying, "These kinds of theories usually lead to fans speculating about possible DLC. Will you be considering any DLC for the game? I feel that, at this point, both the media and the fan community are expecting a DLC to come. Plus, I sense an immense expectations for the FF7 franchise, or rather it feels like fans don't want it to end yet." I don't know. I do feel like everyone is actually ready for the conclusion. I kind of disagree. That being said, things haven't been crystallized yet. So we can't say, oh, we're going to make a DLC for FF7 Revelation. However, if we get support from the fans, and if there's genuine demand for it, I think we'd want to consider. Okay, developers will often say this, and this is a very common lie that is often told. I get why it's told, but let's just be real here. DLC development takes like a fairly substantial amount of time and usually begins before a game launches. Way before a game launches. Sometimes up to a year or even 2 years before the game launches. DLC usually is decided upon, begins its planning, and even a lot of its development before launch of the base game. So, a lot of the time, they will say, oh, we're going to see how fans react to the game, and, if they really like the game, then we'll release the DLC. No. The DLC is always in the works, pretty much, before the game actually launches. If it's not, then it takes like a year or 2 after the game already launched for the DLC to come out. Like usually closer to 2 years, right? Because of how long making some of this stuff can take. And they don't want to do that. You want the DLC to be within the launch window. So it's fairly rare that DLC is not planned ahead of time. Look for the DLC-sized hole in the story. Yeah. You know how in Final Fantasy 16 where they casually drop like Leviathan the Lost? They're like, oh yeah, there's even Leviathan the Lost here. And Joshua says it. And it's just like, hey, DLC, DLC. Like, it's very clear they were like, yeah, we're going to do a DLC about Leviathan before that game launched. Otherwise, they would not have left that hole there to plug it. Like, it's always there. It's always like, oh yeah, clearly they're going to go back and do a DLC about that. So basically the game is only getting a DLC expansion if they have better than expected pre-order numbers like 3 months before launch. It's really more like the DLC that we've been working on might get canceled if the numbers aren't great. That's realistically what it's about. It's not like we'll do the DLC if the game succeeds and players want more. When developers say, oh, if players want more, we'll do the DLC, what it really means is if the game sells well enough, we can continue development on the DLC we already have planned. And if it doesn't, it might get canceled before we're able to release it. That's what it really means. And then the publisher will use the work on any canceled DLC as a tax write-off. Yep, really easy. Yeah, so, you know, that's what you want to do. That's how you want to play it. And that's not to blame Hamaguchi, by the way, or to like be like, boo, Hamaguchi lied to us. This is just a necessary thing that you have to say in game development. It's what, it's what multiple game developers say. It's what any director will say if you ask them, for the most part, if they don't have pre-established DLC coming for the game on day one. They'll just be like, well, if the fans really want more, we'll do more. But like in reality, it's like we already have this stuff planned, and if there are fans, we'll deliver it to them. But if there aren't enough fans supporting it, then the DLC gets canceled behind the scenes. So, and there will definitely be DLC for Revelation. I don't think there is a question about it, at least as far as I stand. I think that they'll definitely do DLC. It just depends on what the DLC is going to be and how substantial it'll be. But I really enjoyed Intermission, and if they want to do more than Intermission, then I'll be pretty happy with it. Um, these wait, where were we? Oh, right here. And now that we're talking about the possibility of a DLC, I apologize for the mean question. But I do wonder if that is going to end. But I do wonder if the main game is going to end on a cliffhanger, with the story concluding in a DLC. Oh my god, bro. Bro is hungry. He's hungry for that clickbait headline, man. Oh my god. This is crazy, dog. He's like, you know, why don't you just tell me how the game ends? Just tell me how the game ends, brother. I just want to know. I just want to know how it ends. Yeah, this is crazy, man. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go after the ending of a game quite like this. Hamaguchi says, the story will be concluded within the main game. We're serious about concluding the series with FF7 Revelation, and we're proceeding with the development with that goal in mind. If we were to hypothetically release any DLC, we would likely create a sort of spin-off focus on a specific character that depicts their untold stories. Kind of like what we did with Yuffie for FF7R episode Intermission. And I think there is demand for it among fans. So in case we do end up considering making a DLC, this is the kind of thing we'd likely attempt to do. And that's a great answer for Hamaguchi, I think. To be like, hey, yeah, remember that we also did Intermission. And maybe it'll be like a spin-off thing. Which means Dirge of Cerberus remake DLC confirmed. They're going to remake the whole thing. It's going to be a DLC. I asked my little cousin Hamaguchi, and that's what he said. He whispered it in my ear. He was like, hey, cousin, we working on the Dirge remake. And I was like, oh my God, really? It's like that? And he's like, yeah. And that's what happened. He told me about it at Thanksgiving, chat. We ate the stuffing together. It was good. You know, grandma makes the best stuffing. The only way they could pull that off is if they end the game and leave Zack's fate ambiguous, so then sell a Zack DLC to get that resolution. I don't think they'll go that far. That would be crazy. I think that piss everyone the fuck off. But we'll see. Recently, it was announced that Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis would be shutting down. As a fan, I'm a bit worried that the Final Fantasy VII franchise might truly come to an end with the release of FF7 Revelation. What are your thoughts on that? Dude, as an FF7 fan, I hope the FF7 franchise comes to an end with FF7 Revelation. That's the point. Like I want it to come to an end. It's been 30 years, bro. Like, let it end. Good things come to an end. Like, let it go back to the live stream, dog. Like, damn. I don't want them to keep resurrecting FF7's corpse to keep making product. Revelation should be the end of FF7, like it should be. Hamaguchi says, right now, we're focusing on finishing the development of FF7 Revelation, but we haven't thought about what will happen after. However, once the game is out, we'll be observing everyone's reactions and reviews. So if there is significant demand, and if we, as creators, are able to come up with a fresh and compelling answer to that, we might consider doing something else down the line. On the other hand, thinking too far ahead is definitely not a good thing for FF7 Revelation. So we're solely focused on finishing up its development for the time being. I believe that FF7 Revelation will shape up to be a better game if we don't let ourselves think about other stuff. So after the series comes to its conclusion, I hope that we, the creators and fans, can move toward the future together while thinking about what comes next. Yeah. Let these people move on, man. Let them make something else. I think this trilogy is the perfect way to conclude FF7, and then once it's done, it's done, and we can move on to Final Fantasy 17. I wonder if Japanese fans just want FF7 to go on forever, because I do see a lot of people in the West want it, but this is making me wonder if it's the opposite there, if this interview is from a Japanese person, right? And that's a good point. Maybe in Japan, they do want FF7 forever. I don't know. Someone somewhere at Square Enix has definitely already thought about if they'll continue with something FF7, but let it go and move on. Yeah. I think there's this temptation in them. I shouldn't even say temptation because it's already happened. There's this desire from them to want FF7 to be its own series. And it kind of already is, but they wanted to like really stand out from the rest of Final Fantasy. And I think it has for a really long time. But I think now people are craving the next 7, the next 10, the next FF that moves everything forward in the same way that those kinds of games did. I think people are really, really looking for that again. And maybe hot take, but it hasn't happened yet. And I do think that Square Enix probably had faith that 16 would be that. I think they also thought 15 would be that and 13 would be that. But, you know, it turned out that it wasn't. But I think that most of us now are ready to see the next vision for Final Fantasy. I think this is why, and this is crazy to say, but I think this is why Resonance is a little bit more exciting for me, maybe even than Revelation. And I know that's funny because Brave Exvius is a thing that already happened, but I haven't played Brave Exvius. So to me, Brave Exvius is a brand new game. It might as well be Final Fantasy 17 because I don't know anything about it. It is going to be a new FF world for me. I think that we're kind of at that point where people are looking for the next thing that's going to pull FF forward, you know? And that's not to say we can't have, like, you know, a Dirge remake or something else like that. But I do think that, like, we shouldn't be spending too much time on FF7 after the release of Revelation. I think that's a good endpoint for the 7 series. To me, continuing FF7 after Revelation will betray the 7R trilogy's most important message, which is moving on from an end. We need to move on from Aerith and Sephiroth disappearing forever in universe. I agree. I agree. It's really funny too because OG FF7, it kind of concludes with ego death around your attachment to the characters. Instead of giving them an epilogue, it disconnects you from them and forces you to let go and not cling on to that universe, right? Like, it makes you let go in, like, the most brutal and abrupt way possible. And some people hate that. I love it. But it's one of the coolest endings to any story ever because it does that. And yeah, here we still are, like, held the fuck on. I think it's natural to feel that way. FF Resonance represents something unknown with high potential. FF7 Revelation, we know, is going to be an optimized version of something we played twice before. Yeah. Right. And that's no slight on Revelation. It's just like, I think that the Final Fantasy fan base is just really craving something new, right? We're craving something new, and something I think that we feel like is a new bold vision. And I know some people are going to be like, that was 16, and maybe it was for you. It was not for me. It was not for me. You ever think about turning on dark mode for your web viewing? Watching you on a 50-inch OLED is, like, really bright. My bad. Is there a way to do that for, like, non like websites that don't have a night mode? Resonance has 2K more wish lists on Steam than 7R3 does. That's crazy. But that's not surprising too, because I've only done 2 videos on Resonance, but they have more views than my Revelation videos do. So I do kind of feel like I do feel that urge, that desire for a new thing for Final Fantasy. The Dark Reader extension can do that, I think. Okay. Next stream, I think we'll have a plugin like that. Excuse me. I burp a lot when I sit for too long. Lastly, could you tell us about the current development status and your plans moving forward? Hamaguchi will be steadily unveiling new information, targeting a specific time frame. We're also preparing for players and the media to try out the game at various events. I think you can probably imagine which event I'm talking about, so expect a bunch of new information from us there. And from that point on, we'll be unveiling new info pretty much without stopping, so please look forward to it. I cannot wait. I want them to make a new turn-based game that they don't treat as a, I don't even know that word, pestage? Yeah, I don't know that word. But look, it's a classic turn-based FF. Like, make it authentically and not just as a throwback. I'm not sure if Resonance will be that, but they sure advertise it like that as in the trailer. Yeah. I think that's kind of a point that some have been making, right? Where they're like, I want you to just genuinely make a classic turn-based Final Fantasy, but it not be like, oh, hey, this is nostalgia bait. Remember when Final Fantasy was turn-based? Ha ha ha, we're doing it again. Like, but like, no. Actually take it seriously and actually say, hey, we're really serious about making a brand new Final Fantasy game with turn-based combat. And it's not about nostalgia. We're actually making a genuine attempt at creating that brand new game. My biggest concern with Resonance is the world map. Octopath Traveler 2 already had a world map, but it was very lackluster compared to normal areas and it felt disconnected. Oh man, that'd be bad. Paste is a creative work that copies the style of another artist or mixes different styles together into one piece. Ah, okay. Forgive my lack of education, brothers. They need to work on 9 remake. Yeah, they need to work on resuscitating it. Because it may or may not be dead for all we know. But we'll see. Let's see, was there anything else that we were needing to cover today? I don't think there was, unless what the hell is this?
So this
Hold up.
usually doesn't happen.
Hold up. Let me see if this is anything important. I don't know what was said here.
まあ今1月ですよね。我々がこうスプリングなので、まあ一緒にファイナルファンタジーフランチャイズとして盛り上げていくためには何がいいんだろうみたいなところがスタート地点でした。
So obviously Final Fantasy VII Revelation and Final Fantasy XIV Evercold are both coming out soon. January for Evercold and spring for Revelation. And so Yoshida-san and I were talking about these release dates and release windows quite a lot. And, seeing as they are so close, we were wondering, what can we do to sort of bring even more energy and use this opportunity to further, get everyone excited about the Final Fantasy
Yeah, I have
series?
no idea if there's any information in this,
really,
but
really happy to see the collaboration. And when I saw the Golden Saucer being like imported,
someone
to the
in
Final
chat
Fantasy
put the link.
okay. So my question on that topic is like, how does it feel to see your creations that you built over the last decade in another engine with a bit different touch from another artist? Like, how does it feel like to see this collaboration pan out? And what do you see yourself, that the Final Fantasy 14 team can do in their universe that you maybe didn't have the opportunity in the Final Fantasy 7 universe?
私もその知らせを見てすごく嬉しく感じました。特にゴールドソーサーも7のゴールドソーサーを14で見れてなんかすごい新鮮だなと思いました。この自分がここ10年かけて作り上げてきたものとか場所が違うゲームのエンジン、違うゲームのアセットで作られることに関してはどういうふうに感じられる受け
Bro, her Japanese is goated. I'm like, yo, I could never think of like how to say all that like that fast. Like, holy shit, she's good.
受け止めるのでしょうか。そして例えば今回のコラボで14側で例えば7の中で描かれないところが描かれるっていうところについてはどう受け止められていらっしゃいますでしょうか。
そうですね。まず、今長くファイナルファンタジー7リメイクシリーズ開発してきて、いよいよ今完結作に向かってるこのタイミングで、本当にファンベースがすごく多くいるファイナルファンタジー14と一緒に大きく取り上げて、コラボレーションできるってこと自体はすごくポジティブに感じてますし、しっかり私自身も
So first and foremost, obviously, I've been working on the Final Fantasy VII Remake series for a long time now, and we're...
I don't know if there's anything like super crucial in this one.
の3部作を終わってからやっとオリジナル版をプレイしようかなと考えてますので、その意味でもすっごく楽しみにしております。そして本当にこの12年間
Actually, wait, hold on.
So I'm really, really excited towards it, and I'm really appreciate
I'm just kind of skimming this.
Creative thoughtful at this for last 12 years. That takes a toll on you as well, I guess.
で実は私最初に「ファイナルファンタジー」っていうフランチャイズに触れたのがアドベンチュールズだったので私もまさにその質問しようかなと思ってたんですけれども生まれたところはバングラデシュだったのであんまりファイナルファンタジーゲームは手に入らなかったんですけれども、そうなると7に初めて出会ったのがリメイクシリーズだったのでリメイクシリーズの3部作を終わってからやっとオリジナル版をプレイしようかなと考えてますのでその意味でもすっごく楽しみにしております。そして開発にもう常に体調的に大
I'm gonna skip ahead to the English for you guys.
全然私自身元気ですしエネルギッシュなので全然そこは大丈夫です。
I'm healthy. I'm full of energy, so don't you worry.
Yeah, that's like because I want to see what you have after the Final Fantasy 7 as well, and that is something I'm really looking forward to it because you have been at this for 12 years. I want to see what you do next. I'm very excited about that. But before we go on to those questions, I wanted to ask something. Like speaking about putting in a lot of effort. I've been told to ask you this by a close friend of mine because he played the original one. Turtle Paradise Flyers, like those that were all scattered all over the region in the original, and it was very hard to get all of them, and the reward at the end was apparently not that good. Are we gonna get that again? You don't have to answer that if you feel like it's a spoiler, but that's something that I've been extra asked, told by a friend to ask you.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What is it that was
the Turtle Paradise Flyer collection? That's like apparently a mission in the original game.
Yeah. そう聞けて本当に嬉しいです。やはりもうずっと7リメイクシリーズでの開発に関わっていらっしゃるんですけれども、その次をぜひ見たいです。次のプロジェクトすごく期待してますので楽しみにしております。でそのなんていうか努力がいろいろ必要となる作業ってやっぱあ
れかな、ウータイのポスターとかのチラシかな。
はい。でそこは今回もあるのかな。別にそこまではっきり言わなくてもいいんですけれども、っていうがっかりがあったっていうことです。
そうですね。例えば、そのファンの人、結構来るんだと思うんですよ。なんで、なんか、してゲームの、で、非常
I think probably one of the reasons that that's so memorable is because the reward was kind of rubbish, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're making a game that's a an homage to all of these things as well. So I won't say whether the reward is disappointing or not, but I will say that I think it'll probably be quite a fun part of Revelation that you can look forward to.
あと、ちょっと最初の質問で、やっぱこれまで、やっぱリメイク、リバースリベレーションっていうところで、やっぱ多く、のメディアの方々といろいろインタビューをしてきて、やっぱこれまでだと、例えば、リバースどうなりますかとか、リバースだったらリベレーションどうなりますかみたいな、やっぱ質問が多かったのが、最近だとやっぱり、浜口さん次は何をされますかっていう質問が増えてきたなっていうのも、なんかいよいよ終わりに向かってきてんだなっていうのをすごく感じさせます。
And you said that you were looking forward to what I was doing next. It's always been the case having these interviews that after remake, people would ask, "What about Rebirth?" And after Rebirth, people would ask, "What about Revelation?" And now we're approaching Revelation, people are asking, "What are you going to do next?" And that's really helping me feel like, oh, it is almost over.
Maybe you need a nice...
That is funny. I do feel for him though, because yeah, after a marathon of projects for 10 years, now people are like, okay, now you need to do something new. But yeah, I don't think we'll go through that whole thing. But if there is anything I missed from that, we will revisit it, certainly. Imagine he comes out and says, yes, the Turtle Paradise Flyers unlock the true ending. Yeah, then the interviewer from Automaton would be quite happy. So how about the anniversary merch for FF15? There's anniversary merch for FF15? What the fuck? Link? Oh, what? I had no idea that was a thing. What the hell? Is there really? Let me pull that up. Okay, here we go. What the fuck? I mean, I guess. It's not even good merch, though, I feel like. It's like, oh, it's okay. And it's Japan only, too. Okay, I guess. Like, eh. I do think, bro, there is something capitalist dystopian about them selling you a printout of the book cover of the canceled DLC. There's something so deeply dystopian about that. Yeah, damn. About a printout of the cover of the art book or the novel of the DLC they canceled of the game they didn't finish in the first place. To commemorate its 10th anniversary. That is just insane, dog. Like, we truly live in a society. God. The mouse pads are okay. Okay, I'm gonna be real, and maybe this is coming. Maybe this is coming for the 10th anniversary, and they're going to do something special for it. But why is there no new artwork? I feel like new artwork is kind of the bare minimum for like what you can do for an anniversary. Those aren't mouse pads? Wait, what the fuck? They're not? They're hand towels? They're hand towels. What the fuck? Are you serious? Wait, is this also a hand towel? No, it's an artwork. Okay, no, it's an artwork. If this was also a hand towel, I was gonna freak the fuck out. I was gonna be like, no goddamn way. Personal hand towels are big in Japan? Okay. Maybe I'm missing context here. I think I am. Because otherwise, I'm like, yo, what is happening here? What are we doing? FF15 cum rag? That's crazy, bro. You can use it to like, after you and your bros have like a session, you guys use it to like wipe it all up. That's great. That's awesome. Truly in the spirit of FF15. Something I discovered while doing research for a Type 0 interview. No one has said that Versus was going to have Moogles like Type 0 did, but 15 did not end up having them. I also found out that Tabata wanted 15 even more than Type 0 and sat down with Nomura to explain that. So I assumed that Moogles were too cute and too mystical to fit his vision of 15. That actually makes perfect sense. All right, because Versus was going to have airships, and then 15, they basically took that out. And then at the end, they're like, oh, well, fans want the airship now. So we have to put the airship back in. You know? So many things that Versus was supposed to have. And then Tabata is kind of like, no, not what I want in 15. Both of the art directors of 15 no longer work at SE, which is probably why there's no new artwork. And Nomura won't draw FF15 art because there's an open wound for him. That's a great point. That's a great point. Maybe they could do new CG renders, if anything, but I think you're onto something, Eric. Like I do think that something along those lines is probably true. Can you imagine? I'm about to get you guys all bricked up for like literally nothing to happen. But this is like my darkest fantasy. Okay. Listen to this shit. Listen, chat. 10th anniversary comes, right? And on that day, Nomura drops an artwork of Noctis. And he says, it's been a long time since I've worked with this character. We're making preparations to maybe revisit his journey once again, or something along those lines. I would go fucking crazy. That would be like the best thing ever. Shadow drop of Versus 13 confirmed. So like on like the 0.1% chance they ever do Shadow drop, or like they ever end up recreating Versus, the thing that they need to do is just Shadow drop it. Like absolutely no warning. Versus comes out in 4 months. There should be like no marketing lead up like for longer than a year. If Versus ever got rebooted, it would need to be announced and drop within the same calendar year. And on the announcement, it would need to have a date. Because otherwise, people would be like, oh, this is just development hell again. We're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, no. You need to just drop Versus and be like, yeah, in 6 months it's happening. It'll never happen. But if it did happen, that's the only way to make it happen. Yeah, that's going to be Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be Kingdom Hearts 4 at this point. But Kingdom Hearts 4 is also taking Versus amounts of time. So I don't think there's a developer that can touch FF15 at this point. It's such a divisive title at this tragic moment in SE's public perception. I know. People really do underestimate just how, and you guys got me yapping about Versus again. Here we fucking go. But people really do underestimate just how critical it is in Final Fantasy's history and where FF is right now to create a greatly anticipated title that people waited 10 years for, and then you changed what the game was about. You changed the director and made him bitter. You then changed the gameplay of the game and its story. You released that game incomplete. Then you tried to complete it with DLCs. And then you canceled the DLCs on the game's second anniversary stream. People greatly underestimate how much brand damage that did to Final Fantasy. And I'll be real with you. I do kind of think that in a lot of ways, 7R and 16 paid the price for what happened to Versus. And I still say that as a 16 hater, actually, that 16 still kind of ultimately ended up paying the price, I think, for what happened there with Versus and 15. I still see a big Versus 13 screenshot on the box of my on my launch PS3. Oh my god. Is there a Versus 13 screenshot on the launch PS3s? That's crazy. See, I have like a 40 gigabyte PS3 that came with like Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man 3. Like Toby's Spider-Man. And you know, you still like 16 more than 15? I don't. I actually do think 15 is more fun, if I'm like completely honest. Which is funny because 16 has much better combat. But I still think 15 is actually just more fun to play and like actually just more fun to mess around in. And honestly, I'm a bit more attached to 15's characters than I am 16's, even though 16's story is complete and 15's is not. I still felt more emotion for 15, if I'm completely honest. I know that's probably like the true haters take, but that is genuinely like how I feel. Having replayed it recently, I do think 15 is more fun. Like, I do actually think driving around in the car and then getting out of the car and then, especially with the character switching, shooting something with like Prompto's like fucking rifle and then throwing a grenade or a bazooka and then switching over to Ignis and just fucking warping around and like with the elementals or like being Noctis and throwing the fucking elemental grenade and just going around the world of Eos with the boys, actually for me, I think was a vibe more. the different play styles actually like that you have kind of just more fun to fuck around with. Like the DLCs, which are actually like pretty interesting. Square wasted too much money on having content creators come out for that panel. Would have been better served in the game. You mean like you mean Uncovered? I don't think the presence of Uncovered like really impacted the game much, because they basically had all the resources in the entire company firing off to try to make 15 or finish 15. Barsabe, thank you for the super. It was either 15 or remake. SE made a choice. Yeah, I do think the Versus trilogy though would have done bigger numbers. Oh, you're talking about 16, not Uncovered. I see. You're talking about the 16 launch event. I actually think that both of those were not waste of money. I actually think both of those were actually money well spent. I think that both 15's Uncovered and 16's launch event were actually like really good marketing. Actually, really good marketing attempts. I think the 16 live action commercial was a waste of money. That was a waste of fucking money. That was just pouring money down the drain. Who the fuck? Maybe we will find him one day. Maybe this guy is out there. But who saw the 16 live action trailer? Something that even fans don't even know exists. Every time I mention it, there's someone in trailer like, yo, what the fuck? There's a 16 live action trailer. There's a 16 live action trailer. Who was like, yeah, I didn't know that game existed, but I found out from the live action trailer, and now I'm buying FF16. Who was that for, bro? I don't know. I'm still looking for him. I'm still looking for that guy. That one guy who was like, yeah, I didn't know anything about the game, or I wasn't sure if I was going to buy the game. But then I saw that live action trailer and I was like, fuck, now I have to buy it. Most people don't even know it exists. See, there's already someone in chat like, wait, there is? Okay, we have two people in chat like, yo, there's a live action trailer. It worked for me. No, it didn't. If you're like on the off chance that it did work for you, you're probably not in a Final Fantasy streamers chat. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Wait, the Persona live action trailer? Wait, is that out? Did that happen? I know that Persona live action is supposed to be a thing, but wait, did the live action trailer drop? Don't make me look it up. Oh, you mean like the live action Persona? Oh, I know what you mean. There was a live action. Wait, I actually didn't know this existed. I actually did not know this existed. Hold the fuck up. Pause. Okay, we're watching this shit. What the fuck? Bro, look at this. I have Persona 3 Reload shit in my background. Look at this. I love Persona 3. I love Persona 3. And I did not fucking know that this existed. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you, chat, about these live action commercials? It's so crazy. Hold the fuck up.
Time. is something no one can escape.
Oh, this is the dude from Umbrella Academy, bro. What the fuck?
No matter which path you choose, it delivers us all to the same end. Your time is limited. Soon, the end will come. It's all up to you now. The world does not need a script. That is already written. The time has come to wield your power, accept your destiny, and seal your fate.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. I gotta look at the comments on this. This is the most early 2000s American commercial I've ever seen for a Japanese game that comes out in 2024. Oh my god, bro, I know. This shit feels like 2002 for real. Oh my god, that's so crazy. And then like when they had him like turn into a Persona character, that shit was like way funny.
Accept your
like,
destiny.
dog, what is this? What is this? And then what's so funny is that, you know, it's literally just bro walking throughout scenes of Persona 3, and it's just like, oh my god, dude. And this is a fairly prestigious actor, so they had to pay him quite a bit of money. And I don't think this sold like even one copy. Like maybe there's someone out there who's such a massive fan of Aidan Gallagher that they're like, oh my god, I would have never ever bought Persona 3 Reload until I saw this and I saw him in the commercial, and now I'm going to buy it. Blitz says this has ruined my want or need to experience Persona now. That's fair, bro. That's fair. Persona has fallen. It's okay. I get it. Tom Holland also did a commercial for Shadowbringers. Oh my god. Let's go down the rabbit hole, bros. Let's do it. Let's watch the Tom Holland Shadowbringers commercial. This is another one y'all probably didn't know existed. Unmute
Hey,
it.
Tom,
There we go.
we playing Final Fantasy 14?
No, I'm not ready yet. I gotta get prepared.
You don't need to train, you just play the game. Why are you doing this?
For Shadowbringers, dude. I'm training to be the warrior of darkness.
I must become the darkness.
You must become a better roommate. Hey, you don't need that sword, man. You're not the warrior of darkness.
Yes, I am. Look at my sword.
You're from West London. That's the really nice part of London. Relax, man.
I'm sorry, but like the line where he's like, that's the really nice part of London, that's just crazy. I also, and like, this is the American dog in me, I can't even fathom what the hood of London is even like in any concept. I legitimately have no concept of the hood of London. Like, I can't stereotype it. I can't imagine it. I can't conceive it. Again, this is that Texas dog in me. I don't know what the fuck the hood of London is even supposed to be.
You all right?
Yeah, well, you know, not gonna be the warrior of darkness, so.
It's not about trying to be the ultimate Final Fantasy master. It's what's in here.
Okay, pause. Okay, pause. The ultimate Final Fantasy master. The ultimate Final Fantasy master. Bros. I've been into this series my whole life. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to be the ultimate Final Fantasy master? I don't even... I love how the people writing this didn't even know like anything about the series. They're just like, yeah, there's a Warrior of Darkness. It's like Pokemon, okay? It's like them Pokemons, okay? And you gotta catch them all. And this is how you do it, actually. Yeah, you go and you gotta catch all of the various people in the Final Fantasy community who are just off their fucking rocker. You gotta go and catch all of them. And then you can have a house so annoying that it will make you go insane. NSP, you're the ultimate Final Fantasy master. So true. So true. In fact, if you don't know what a Final Fantasy master is, I think that you should stop playing these games. I'm something of an ultimate Final Fantasy master myself. You unironically kind of are, Blitz. Like, no joke. You can only make that shit up if you're outside of the fan base. That's so true. Like, you would not even conceive the term Final Fantasy master, even if you were purposely trying to make fun of the series as someone who didn't know it. Like, you couldn't even conceive that.
That matters. And what's in there is a gamer. You can do this. You got this.
You think so?
It's video games, yeah.
I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's just buttons.
Let's just go and play.
Yeah.
You can become the Warrior of Darkness. Final Fantasy 14.
I'm sorry. You know what, though? This is perhaps the best trailer, or perhaps the best live action, just because it is so insane and is so silly that it actually gets a laugh out of me and it doesn't take itself seriously. Like the Persona 3 Reload one took itself way too seriously. But then he was like, oh yeah, it's a video game. You just press buttons. Like, yeah, bro, no shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. Let's just go through it. Let's just do it. Reacting to all of the Final Fantasy live action trailers. Let's do it right now. We'll do it live, as they say. Oh my God. So this is the Final Fantasy 16 one that we were talking about. And this honestly just did not need to exist, bros. It just didn't, but they made this. And I just want to say, like, right off the bat, too, I don't know who this actor is, and no disrespect to him whatsoever, but I think they would have gotten so much hype, at least from me and others, if this was Ben Starr. Do you know how much Ben would love to have cosplayed to have cosplayed Clive and done this commercial, and fans would have ate it up, and they would have actually shared the commercial. Granted, at the time, to be fair, they didn't know how popular Ben would get and how beloved he would become by the community. But it would have made so much sense for him to do it. Ah, yes, this is where the budget for FF7 Rebirth marketing went. Yeah, I know. Because, I mean, Rebirth didn't even get, like, a launch event. It's actually so crazy because at the time we were like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see all you guys again at the FF7 Rebirth launch event, because I, Blitz, and others, we all went to the 16 when, you know, we thought surely there'd be one for FF7, and there was not. Do the Leona Lewis one with her, with the one for her fake playing the game. Okay, yeah, we'll do that one. Okay, hold up. I understand that you can't find a dog that looks exactly like Torgal, but that's actually really funny. That's actually really funny. That is not my Torgal, bro. That is not my Torgal at all. What the fuck? And they actually use Ben's voice line there too. Okay, that's actually pretty sick. Because she's playing the battle theme. Yeah, the music here is actually pretty amazing. Statue of Joshua for some reason. As y'all know, I'm not the biggest fan of the game itself, but I am not I'm not a hater of 60s music. While the game itself is not my cup of tea, I think the music of Final Fantasy 16 is still pretty damn good. I don't think FF has ever put out a bad soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of FF 1 through 16. Every FF has an amazing soundtrack. The ones I like, the ones I don't like, they're all pretty incredible. That is actually kind of a hype trailer. It is weird, though, that that line of dialogue was, Ifrit, I am him. What? That's so weird to say. I feel like that's kind of a strange trailer or a strange that's a strange line of dialogue. I mean, I get what he's trying to say. Yeah, weird spoiler. Yeah, you remember when they were trying so hard to keep from us that Clive is Ifrit, only for them to scream it in this live action trailer? I'll be honest though, that trailer is pretty hype. I just think that, like, for the money that they spent, I don't think any casual would have watched that trailer and been like, oh yes, that was such a good trailer, now I'm gonna go buy the game. Because the trailer doesn't really convey anything about the game's actual content or anything about the game itself. But I do think the music in the trailer and the way they present the music is pretty awesome. As a fan watching it, it's a really fun trailer. As a normal person watching it, I don't think anyone's gonna really give a damn. They spent a lot of money making that. Imagine they lifted the Ifrit statue from the event there. Oh my god, dude, that statue was so big. A lot of people haven't seen it, but Square Enix made like a gigantic Ifrit statue, and it was there at the FF16 event. It was incredible, by the way. Let's look at... We may have to actually watch this one muted. We may not be able to actually play the music for this. Let me see. No. Okay, yeah. We can't play the music for this one without me getting my cheeks clapped. But this is also another banger. We have Leona Lewis, like, fake playing Final Fantasy 13 on an Xbox 360. Yes, bros. Yes, bros. God, this one's such a crazy one. I think that this was probably less expensive than the Final Fantasy 16 live action, but it's still crazy that they even did it. Did she do the English theme? Yeah, only the English theme. The Japanese theme is sung by a completely different singer, and I think is better in a lot of ways.
And they struck a chord with me, and I can't wait to see Lightning do her thing. Yeah. That's crazy. Ray Mustang, thank you for the super chat. NSP play the trailer for Silver Palace beta test. Isn't that a gotcha? We can do that after we finish our reacting to all Final Fantasy live actions. Okay, let's do the Final Fantasy 15 live action. Stand Together.
When the night...
we can't play music for this one either. You know, but it's Stand By Me. You know how Stand By Me sounds. You know what that song is like. I actually do really find this trailer to be one of the better ones. Like, this is a live action trailer that probably didn't break the bank, but at the same time, it does well convey the feelings of what Final Fantasy 15 is supposed to be in a way that I think that someone who didn't know what FF15 was would watch this and be like, oh, I kind of do want to play it, right? Because this is referencing the film Stand By Me, right? Yeah, dude, this one's a banger. And then Noctis comes. Yeah, Stand Together. Yeah, dude, this one's actually a banger. This one's really solid. Then they show great gameplay clips. Yeah, no, that one's a winner. That one's a winner. Is there any more? Is there any more Final Fantasy live actions? Live action commercials? I'm looking it up. What the fuck?
Yeah, this free trial's a little suckier than you thought, eh? You know what free trial doesn't suck? Final Fantasy 14 Online.
Okay. No way, chat. When I said that FF14 stole gym bro culture, do you see how I wasn't lying? Do you see how I wasn't lying when I say they stole gym bro culture? They're literally showing their cultural appropriation of my people, the gym Chad, in this fucking commercial. Unbelievable. And yes, that is a better free trial than FF14, and FF14 does have a pretty damn good free trial. But you should go to the gym. Also, insane commercial, right? Like, you know what is a good free trial? Instead of being healthy, playing an MMORPG.
Final Fantasy 14, you'll get over 100 hours of awesome gameplay for free. Here, you get to watch Randy McWhirterson over there grunt his eyeballs out for 45 minutes.
My goodness.
Don't want to join?
No, bro. This one's a loser. This one's a loser. I'm sorry. I hate it. Terrible idea for a commercial. Anti-gym slander, bro. They're calling me specifically the fuck out. This is unbelievable. Terrible commercial.
Join some ridiculous pedal party? 10 more seconds. Final Fantasy 14 lets you join your friends in an epic battle. Woo! The only thing ridiculous in Final Fantasy 14 is the amount of enemies you'll vanquish. Looking swole, Dark Knight. Now, that's what I call a sparring partner.
I'm sorry. The only accurate portrayal of this is that the ladies love the Dark Knight, and then everything else is like fake and bad. I hate this trailer. Terrible. 0 out of 10. Garbage. All right. Is there any other one that we're missing? I'm surprised no one has made a... I mean, the only other one is like there is the Final Fantasy 7 remake 13-minute fucking like live action one. Oh, there's the Final Fantasy 6 one from back in the day. Virum Rex. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Final Fantasy 6 4月2日スーパーファミコンで発売。
Yeah, this is so 90s, bro. Even the way the guy is speaking, it's in Japanese, but you know how goddamn 90s it is. I love it. Okay. W live action winner. Absolute winner. And also, too, it's kind of crazy, too, because these effects are actually fairly advanced for the 90s. This looks pretty tight. So yeah, absolute W commercial. 10 out of 10. This is better than the AI slop FF6 trailers. I agree. Let's see. Oh, we have another FF14 one.
Ouch. I'm beginning to understand why that subscription box trial was free.
Well,
You know what you actually want? The free trial of Final Fantasy 14 online. It's, how do I put this? Not a box full of random junk. Oh, a mouse pad with a deer on it.
Okay. Okay. I get it. I get it. They have this lady go around and tell people that they need other trials. Also, this frame, I paused it on the right frame because just look at this dog just going for the mouse pad. That's great. That's great.
To be fair, I didn't really think
Check out Final Fantasy XIV online. Come on, you want adventure. You want to slay enemies. You want glory. You do want glory, don't you, Rishi?
I do want glory.
Of course you do, Rishi.
Let's go get some glory.
Let's get some glory.
That one's like it's like a 5 out of 10, chat. It's not terrible, but it's not the best one. But at least it's less insulting than what they tried to do to my culture, my people, the gym bro. Okay.
Wow. What is it?
Something very special.
Ooh, what'd you get, hun?
This is Omega.
Wow. What's it for?
Oh wait, this one doesn't count. This one's that was an April Fool's joke. Let's see if there is any other yeah, that was the April Fool's joke. Oh wait, this one wasn't.
So we're gonna add the eggs after the melted butter, because if we were to add the butter to the batter with eggs in them, we'd end up with scrambled eggs in our batter.
What you watching? Who are you? Yikes. Now I see why the streaming trial is free.
This lady just breaks into people's homes and starts talking about Final Fantasy XIV. It might be the most biblically accurate depiction of a Final Fantasy XIV fan that I've ever seen, because that's pretty much what they do.
Guy should not be trusted with a whisk. Come on, guys, you know who has the best free trial ever? Final Fantasy XIV Online. With Final Fantasy XIV, you get to join your friends on epic battles with endless possibilities.
Oh yeah, this is totally bingeable.
I know, right? I care about you guys too much to let you watch bad TV.
Pause. This is yo, okay. Literally, imagine breaking into their house and then all of a sudden she just becomes their unicorn. This is crazy. Also, maybe an accurate depiction of Final Fantasy XIV players, bros. I don't know. This is kind of what we do. I'm sorry, but yo, like, this is crazy, bros.
Look, with Final Fantasy XIV, you actually do stuff. Fight bad guys, slay enemies, you name it. Deep down, you're a slayer, aren't you, Julia? Yeah.
And then Estinian's just in the house for some reason. And then she's just like, yo, why is Estinian here? Regrettably, I have to say this is a W commercial. It's so silly. It's so over the top. It makes no sense. Borderline cringe, but I think it's kind of funny. Final Fantasy XIV has so many. Okay. Let me see if there's more. I feel like that has to be it, right? For live action commercials. Are there actually more? I'm looking. I think that's it for him. And now I'm just seeing a bunch of AI stuff. I think we covered all of them. There's not many, but it's weird that there is any. Let me see this. If there's any in here, perhaps. Okay, yeah, this is just W. This is just W. I'm sorry. This is peak 90s, late 80s. The vibes are so good here. 100% massive fucking W. This is the type of commercials that I grow up seeing. I love it. Obviously not literally, because this is a little bit before my time, but I'm like right after this. So yeah, this is just absolute massive fucking W. Mog, thank you for the super chat. There's a PlayStation one in a live action setting with Cloud. Really? If anyone could link that, that'd be cool. No, L commercial. What was what? I guess that's supposed to be like a chocobo, or like representative of a chocobo, and then there's just like this person laughing uncontrollably, and what? L, absolute L. I'm sorry, not a good one.
Final Fantasy IV Super Famicom で登場 Final Fantasy IV いきます
What the Why do they keep doing this?
Presented by Square.
Okay, hey, what's going on with the voice, bros? Square! Like, absolutely terrible commercial. Like, I think if I was a gamer growing up in Japan, I would literally not know what the hell that was about. Like, I would be like, literally what? But also, Final Fantasy was so big at that time that, like, you know, is growing in hype in Japan. I feel like you could just say, hey, the new Final Fantasy is out, and people would go and check it out, right? So maybe it did work. Obviously, FF4 wasn't a bad selling game, so I don't know, man.
Final Fantasy 3.
I don't know why that's funny to me.
Fantasy 3.
That one's just funny to me. I don't even know why. That wasn't even actually a live action commercial, but that's really fucking funny to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, cube. Like, why is it even a cube? I don't know.
Okay, Dad, I just want to finish this game. Okay, Dad, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm almost at the end. What happened to summer?
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Game Boy.
It ain't over.
W. I'm sorry. 1000% absolute peak 90s W. Look at this. They even just threw Final Fantasy Legend 2 in here for whatever reason. Yeah, oh my god. Absolute peak 90s. Did they just spoil the final boss in the commercial? Yeah, that's how you know it's a trailer for Final Fantasy. That's what we do in this series. We put the ending in the commercial, bros. Aerith Dies is literally in the fucking FF7 commercial. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, buy it now, on sale, bitch.
Okay, kid, show me what you got. Yeah, right. Next. Yes. Next. Ooh, scary. Next. Next. Next.
Final Fantasy 3. Do you have what it takes? Final Fantasy 3 from Squaresoft.
Next.
Not an L, but not a W. I feel like this one's kind of funny. I do kind of like it. It's all right. It's all right. Small W, small W.
Final Fantasy Fight Square.
Maybe I just don't get Japanese commercials all that well, but these are just so funny. They're just so funny. I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at or why. I'm sorry, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that like Simpsons Japanese commercial when Homer was on that, like, was it like a soap commercial or whatever? And he became like, was it Mr. Sparkle or whatever the fuck? That's what I think of when I see these Japanese commercials of like FF5 and stuff. Like, it has that type of like Japanese humor that I'm just not prepared for. It's so funny.
Final Fantasy 携帯機完全食計画 Final Fantasy 4 Advance.
Nothing really to say about that one, just W. I love it. Love the Game Boy Micro, everything about it. Very cool. W commercial. I don't even think we need to finish this one. W commercial. www.w.com. Absolute win.
Final Fantasy 4 Advance.
Yeah, I would definitely buy the game based on this. I would definitely buy the game based on this. This is enough, chat. Like, they know their audience. This might be the best one. I think this is the best one. By far. By far, dude. Wow. Oh, we've already seen that one. That one's alright. Not really much to it.
Final Fantasy 携帯機完全食計画いよいよクライマックスへ Final Fantasy 6 Advance Finest Box 当たる
Really simple, not a bad commercial. I think it's solid W.
Fantasy II for Wonder Swan color.
Wonder Swan!
My name is Marche. I am a warrior in a land called Ivalice. Can you please help me destroy the crystals so I can leave?
You may call
I'm sorry, bro.
me Ritz, but you may not use my sword, spells, or magic without asking. They are dangerous. If you call, I'll explain.
Mute is my name. Feel free to call. Otherwise, I may become irritable.
The people of Ivalice are standing by to talk about Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, only on Game Boy Advance. Rated E for everyone.
Oh, man. It's L coded, but I think it's low-key a W. I actually kind of like it. I think it's kind of funny. I kind of like it. It is so goofy. You know what? Video game commercials aren't good anymore. I think that's what we've come to. They're not this memorable or funny anymore. Remember when video game commercials were funny? Now every video game trailer takes itself so seriously. Every commercial is like, this is the most serious game ever. And playing it is so serious.
To inscribe into history. To inscribe into the soul. Final Fantasy Tactics.
50年戦争の後、大国エボリースにおいて獅子戦争、フザーリア、ザルテーニア、400種類に及ぶアビリティがゲームに出るぞ。ファイナルファンタジータクティクス、コンビニでこの辺も押さえとけ。デジキューブ。
I don't even know what to say with that one.
一冊の本から始まる一生忘れない物語。ファイナルファンタジータクティクス A2 風穴のグリモア。
W commercial. Just a classic Japanese commercial. Yeah, a 1000% absolute W. I really like that one.
Use the crystals to expel the mist that poisoned your world. Battle alone or with friends by connecting up to 4 Game Boy Advance systems. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated D for...
I think that one's actually a solid W too. That's kind of a more serious commercial, but I think it actually kind of works.
この夏、新しいファイナルファンタジー。
そうじゃない。あれ？危ない危ない。邪魔します。よし、行くぞ。ここです。一緒に。この子にギャル。この子にギャル。よし、行くぞ。せーの。ファイヤー。
新しいタイプのファイナルファンタジー。任天堂ゲームキューブ。ファイナルファンタジークリスタルクロニクル。
This one's actually kind of a W because they promote something I deeply believe in, which is staying outside of the sunlight when it's summertime. As you guys know, I don't fuck with sunlight. I don't do it. If sun touches my skin, I will burn. I'm a vampire. And as a vampire, this one is a solid W. Stay inside your house and play Final Fantasy. 100%.
Final Fantasy X.
Okay, nothing about this commercial makes any goddamn sense whatsoever. Like, I guess he's in a church, and then he, like, drops the pearls, and then they disperse, and then, like, it's just, like, Yuna's falling, and they show the wedding scene, and then they're like, Final Fantasy. But with all that being said, this is absolutely a goddamn W. 100%. I love it. It's such a W. It's just so of the era. And I love that. I love that. There is another Final Fantasy X one. I feel like, let me see if I can find it. Uh,
じゃあね。
I'm sorry, massive fucking W. Yeah, peakest of peak, quite possibly, maybe ever. It actually does not get any better than that. I think it would be physically impossible for things to be better than this. It's Final Fantasy X. You literally cannot go wrong. It connects FF10 to every emotional moment in your life, and it's true. Every emotion I have is a reference to Final Fantasy X. 100% unfathomably based. Just a goated trailer, and in true Final Fantasy fashion, I'm pretty sure they show the ending. Yeah, they show the ending in the fucking commercial, which is like the most Final Fantasy thing you can ever do. If they don't show the ending in the commercial, I don't want it. It's not good. It's not what the series is about. They betrayed expectations. But fortunately, they were smart enough to know this is the GOAT. This is Final Fantasy X. We got to show the ending in the trailer. 100%. Absolute peak. This is why I don't listen to Suzanarkin anymore. Dude, you get so choked up just listening to it. I know. I like it, that whole commercial. I was like, dang, I'm really feeling it. Just hearing that. My absolute favorite. By far. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Final Fantasy IV one. I think the Final Fantasy IV one with the girl just standing there in the cosplay and they're just doing zoom ups of her and it's just like, yeah. I think that's actually still the GOAT. I think that's still number one, bros. At least in my heart it is. Okay, we're gonna call it a stream there. I'm gonna be back this Friday with more content. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. In the meantime, later today, I'll have a very special surprise for you. And I know that sounds very ominous, and it is ominous, but just know that something very special is coming later this evening. Okay. I love you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.